as you can tell, I'm not on my bike right now. We're just going to do a little review on the helmet and camera setup. I'll go into more detail on that one in just a second. But the main reason I'm not on the bike right now is, as you can see, it's kind of sitting on stands. I brought my rims and tires in today. I'm getting some new tires put on at Cycle Gear. I'm getting the Pirelli Rosso 2 for the new Ninja 300. Really looking forward to getting them on there. The factory tire is a great commuter tire, and that's about it. They're designed to be used on the freeways, not in the mountains on the turns. When I'm in the turns out on the twisties, I can feel the tires slipping around on me, even without being at a high lean angle or pushing them real hard. So for my aggressive riding style, I really needed to get a better set, so that's what's going on right now. Really like the bike. It's a great bike. But yeah, you can see there is my M4 carbon fiber with the slip-on and extension piece. Now, I made a mistake when I was putting it on. Didn't really read the directions that came with it. If anybody makes the same mistake, this little bracket right here actually came with it. It wasn't something I had to order extra. The mistake I made was when I put the exhaust bracket on, I had put one end on that side and one end on this side, and I just wasn't thinking, and I couldn't figure out why it looked so funny because there was such a big gap. Well, that was the problem. So one of the other riders, when I went riding, pointed it out to me, recommended putting it both on the same side. I did it. Nice and sturdy, not moving around now. So, future reference to anybody, don't make the same mistake. That's the way you fix it, and that's the correct way to do it. So there you go. Now, I am waiting on my Yoshi frame sliders, which I am really looking forward to getting on. I think it'll go good with the bike. This here is actually my battery tender. It allows me to, it lets me know, it flashes green when the battery's charged, yellow when the battery's mid-drained, and then red when it's time to throw it on the charger. So that's really nice. I got it put in right there. A lot of people, if they don't know, they think it's an alarm. They don't mess with the bike. So that's another nice thing about it. So for me, it works out for more than one purpose. So I am waiting on, again, another part, my Yoshi fender eliminator. This here is actually the stock fender, and all I did was remove the plastic housing that covers it along with the blinkers. So this is actually the factory fender minus the plastic and light. I've used two little clamp lights that anchor in. They're the LED style, and as my license plate lights, I changed to a flush mount blinker, LED blinker setup. And as you can see, even from the rear, it looks really good. Really cleans it up. There we go. So yeah, it looks really good, really cleans it up a lot. I kind of actually would like the way it looks. I am going to be putting the Yoshi fender eliminator on as soon as I get it, but for a temporary time being, I needed to get rid of that huge fender they got on there, and this was my solution. So anybody who doesn't want to spend the money for a fender eliminator, you have another alternative, and this was real cheap, real simple, and you can even keep your factory blinkers if you'd like, or put on some aftermarket blinkers that aren't flush mount, that still mount up to your plate. So that's another thing, the option you have. We got my key mod here, and this is just something little dinky thing. It's one of the farkles that somebody can do. All I did was cut down my spare key into an arrowhead, heated it on the stove, and just shoved it right into the skull here, and this is just a cheap little cigarette lighter skull from AutoZone. I think it was like $10. I just unscrewed the cigarette lighter part, shoved it in. Makes a nice little difference. Now, in the way of clip-ons, because I have been getting a couple of questions about clip-ons here and there. They do push you forward quite a bit. It is a big difference and noticeable. The one thing you do have to watch is that the banjo right here, I have it changed over to steel braided, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But when you go to full lock, the hose, your brake line, will rub right here along your gauge cluster. So that is one thing you're going to have to look into if you decide to do the clip-ons. Keep that in mind. It's probably a good idea to rotate that so that it's going to be out of the way. So that's the only issue as far as an actual mechanical issue wise goes. And that's just one of those things. It may wear out over time. It's going to wear out your gauge cluster. It'll wear out your brake line. So for reference, that's just one thing that you do need to watch. The other thing is if you go full lock on either right or left on your bars with the factory levers, the little ball right here on the end of the lever smacks into the mirror. So I'm getting new levers, and I'm getting the shorties, so I won't have that issue anymore. And I'm getting custom ones with engraving and whatever, just something different, you know. Gotta name my bike, gotta customize it and make it my own. So that's the other thing that's going on. I'm really looking forward to getting all the extra stuff and more videos to come. So now on to the helmet setup. Alright guys, hopefully I'll be back on my bike next week. Till then, see you later. Hey everybody, I thought I'd do a little helmet review, a gear review, camera and mic setup, and some new toy that I just picked up. I still haven't had a chance to actually try it when I'm out riding. So I got the AGV K4. It's a fiberglass, the new fiberglass composite they have. I like graphics. Looks pretty good. Kind of go with the bike, not a whole lot, but that's alright. The helmets, I am willing to sacrifice the looks as far as paint schemes and whatnot to go with safety and lightweight. This helmet is extremely light. I think it weighs like maybe 2 pounds, if that. Very light helmet. Good quality. Very impressed. Pretty quiet on the freeway and when riding. It gets a little noisier if you got the windscreen up, or if you have your vents open, it's a little bit louder. Still a very good quality helmet. I picked it up, it was right around $300 from Cycle Gear, so not too bad. So yeah, that's the helmet there. And then we have my GoPro Hero 2 here, and it's just the basic case, the waterproof case, and a little dual pivot mount here. Hopefully I can get that in focus. And then on the side here, and then I picked up this week, I got the U-Clear HBC 200D Force Bluetooth, and did a test fit on the helmet a little while ago. The helmet's not really designed for Bluetooth, so it's a little snug in the ears. I'll show you that in a second here. But as far as the camera goes for the Hero 2, you can see a little hole right there. I took my Lexon drill and drilled a hole in to the side so that I can plug my mic in. The mic I use is just a standard cheap, well, I think it was like $6 computer mic, and I cut the case off of it and hooked it up and did a little setup. Right here is my cheek pad, and you can see I have my mic wire, and I cut into the cheek pad a little, one of the seams, push the mic all the way to the front corner right here, so that the mic is actually in the cheek pad itself. As you can, with most computer mics, you'll see that they got tons and tons of wire, so I had to zip tie it and left myself enough room so that I can still take it on and off and do what I need to without too much difficulty. But I zip tied the excess bundle of wire, and I stick that in the back of my helmet behind my head, so that it's sitting in the back of my head. It's not real, you can tell it's there, but it's not uncomfortable for any long period of time. You can see here I have my GoPro mount right here. It's real simple. I just slip it in just like that, and then I can flip it down or flip it up, and I can adjust my tilt angle so that it can go closer or side, and I can also go right or left to get different angles of view while I'm riding. And I'll put the helmet together now. I took it completely apart so you guys can see exactly what's all involved, what pieces come off, what pieces don't on the helmet. I'm going to go ahead and take this off for now. And then right here on the side is where I put the U-Clear mount, is right here, so it just slips on, and I'll show you that in just a second. So first we had the nose guard. Now the AGV does come with a no fog visor, which it works okay. I do recommend, if you get one, to pick up an additional fog treatment of some sort, and definitely Rain-X. I use Rain-X on the outside of my visors, and it works great. If it's real, like just water spray from other vehicles, it does kind of stick to your visor, but not nearly as bad as it does without. The other day I went on a ride, and it was kind of misty. There was a lot of spray off from other vehicles, and I just could not see out my visor at all. I mean, it was almost impossible for me to ride with the visor shut. So that is definitely something you want to be aware of. I use it on even my other helmet that I have. I use Rain-X inside and out, and it works really well. I'm impressed with them. It does work while I'm riding. If I need to get the water that's built up off, I just kind of tilt my head basically like that to one side and to the other, and the wind force will actually just clean the water right off of this visor. So definitely recommend that for anybody who doesn't already have a product they like. So yeah, I just put the nose guard in. It does help with the fog. It keeps a lot of the when you're breathing, it does help keep the fog off of your visor, for the most part. I usually just crack it a little bit, and that helps as well. So we got the nose guard in now. Next is on the side here. So put the visor on. All you do, you line it up. Okay, so right here you'll see there's a little tab where the pin for your visor will clip in. To put it on, you push down there, okay, and the visor's on. So that side's on. I'll do the other side later. But to take it off, all you do is you open the visor all the way, push the tab, it unclips, and you pull it right off. It's real simple. I love it. It's just easy. You can do it one-handed, one hand on each side, and push it down and take it off. Great setup. Some of the other helmets are a lot more difficult to remove the visors. Some, I guess, are easier. So far I've only tried 3 different brands, and this is by far the best one and simplest to take visors off of. Real nice helmet setup. You got your chin vent here. Up is closed, down is open. Then you have your 2 top vents, and then again up is open, down is closed. One on each side. and then your rear exhaust vent back here. And yeah, it's actually, it keeps you really cool. Some helmets get really hot. So far this helmet's been really nice. Very impressed with it. Very light. Even with my GoPro on it, it really doesn't make it that heavy. I know with some, I have another helmet and it's a really heavy helmet, and with my GoPro and the Bluetooth, this helmet is still lighter than that helmet by itself. So it's really not a strain on your neck or any of that. Alright, so on to the next step. The only thing I'm not too happy about with the AGV is your neck liner is not removable. It's one of those things that I really wish it was, because being able to pull this out to run wiring into the shell of the helmet would have been really nice, made it a lot simpler for me. But seeing as it's not removable, I had to figure out another way to do it. So I figured something out, and I should go through it. I use the quick release chin strap, these clips here. It's metal to metal contact. The only thing that's plastic is just the casing that holds it onto the strap. It's not what actually holds it on. Anybody who's like worried that these don't hold up in a crash, when I wrecked my other 300, all the weight of me and my bike landed on my helmet. I slid, my chin slid, pulling the helmet. This clip held. It did not come off, it did not loosen up. So I am a firm believer that these will hold up in an accident. They're really strong, really sturdy, easy to adjust, very simple to use when you have gloves on, so that you can put it on with your gloves on or take it off with your gloves on. Makes it really nice and easy. So that is why I use that. It's not for everybody's got their own preferences. I just like to have it on my helmet. It makes it really nice and easy for me. Alright, so next step, sorry about the lighting. Right here is the little Velcro pad, and it's tucked in where the cheek pad goes, and that's what the Bluetooth speaker hooks up to. There's one on each side. The other one's right there. Well, you can kind of see it. There you go. Alright, so the other one's right there on that side. I run my mic on my left side. It's just the way I did it due to when I was setting it up. So with these cheek pads, you got one snap on the top, one snap on the bottom of the front. You have a snap in the back, and then it's got a Velcro at the top of the cheek pad, just above the security strap, or your chin strap. Okay, so now I got that one in. Next step is I just throw in my wiring towards the back of my helmet there. I really wish I had better lighting for you guys, but I don't. So next I would throw in the cap, as it is referred to, which is this piece here. And it's nice that AGV thought of this, and you're able to remove the cap and your cheek pads so you can wash them. You're also able to remove the chin wind guard so you can wash that as well, or take it off if you choose. I like to leave it on because it does cut down quite a bit on the wind. So the cap is now in. It's got two snaps on the front top and two snaps at the back and the bottom. Alright, and then I just run my wire around the chin bar there, kind of tuck it in underneath the neck guard, and I tuck in the wire just to make sure it doesn't like flap around in the wind. Alright, so now I got this hanging out, and I can just wrap it around. When I have the GoPro, or when I do or don't have the GoPro hooked up, I just wrap it around just like that. And if I'm don't have my GoPro hooked up, I just wrap it like that. It sits right there, hangs on. I haven't rode with it like that because whenever I'm on the bike, I have my GoPro on. So that's how I store it when the GoPro's not on the helmet itself. Alright, so I got both cheek pads in, the cap in. I got my nose guard in, and that was the air deflector for the chin guard, I guess is what it is, or chin screen. Not real sure what it's called. And it's pretty simple. It's actually really simple. It just slips right in. Push it down. Try to make sure you got it centered when you're doing it. Believe it or not, I rode without this in. It was quite a bit louder without the screen than it was with. So it does make a difference as far as noise goes with the air. It does make it a little bit hotter, but it's got a mesh material, so it's kind of breathable. Now we'll go ahead and do the Bluetooth. And once you put it all together and get it fitted, now like I was saying earlier, this helmet isn't really designed for Bluetooth, so it makes it a little snug in the ears. It's not too bad really, but it is a little tight. Now in order to put my Bluetooth in, I unsnap the back one, and I find my pad, stick it on the Velcro. It's not moving around. Snap my cheek pad back in eventually. Alright, cheek pad snap back in. Wire runs around the back, and I run it along the neck guard there. Alright, so now I got my speakers plugged in for my Bluetooth. I got the wire set up so that it's all tucked into my neck guard. And this right here, that's where you plug it into your Bluetooth. So that's the Bluetooth here, real nice, big buttons. You got volume up and down. This is the answer calls, turn on, off, whatnot. There's quite a few people that have gone into great detail on them. If you're really interested in looking at it, by all means do so. I got it. It was a good price. I was able to pick up a dual set. They are linkable. So yeah, you can do bike to bike, passenger to rider. So it's a really nice setup. I'm really looking forward to testing it out when I'm riding and see just how good the sound quality is. I am able to run GPS, anything Bluetooth will hook up and sync with this, as far as the smartphones and whatnot. So the newer Bluetooth technology does link up to this, which is really nice for GPS and music and whatnot. And you can have multiple devices hooked up to it at the same time, which I also found really nice. So yeah, so I just plug this in now, make sure I got it all plugged in all the way, and then it just slips right into the mount here. Yeah, it just slips right in, locks in. It's a good, nice, solid connection. It was right there on the side. So that is the Bluetooth setup. The helmet's all together. Now let me show you how the microphone plugs into the GoPro. Okay, so I got my GoPro, clip it on. There we go. So yeah, I wrap it around and it plugs right into that hole in the side, straight in. I got my stereo mic because I'm using a computer microphone. I can adjust. It's nice and tight. The wire's not going to be flapping around in the wind. And if you guys have watched some of my other videos, I got good sound quality. At least I think it's pretty good sound quality. Better than mono. It's much nicer to have a stereo microphone so you don't have to do as much editing on the audio. So yeah, that's my helmet setup. This is one of the cameras that I use. This is the one I use the most when I'm riding. Now the other camera, I do have two more cameras right now. So we got the first generation standard definition GoPro, and then I have another one, same exact thing. It's the first generation standard definition Hero, and I have that one, and I'm going to be testing out different angles and whatnot on the bike. I'd like to get another couple of cameras. I'd like to pick up a couple more of the Heroes, the Hero 2, maybe a Hero 3 later on. I'm not in any rush to spend that kind of money on it. I'd rather get parts from my bike than spend that kind of money on a camera. Yeah, I'm going to plan on getting a lot more video cameras set up so that I can get different angles, different positions on the bike, so I can do some better videos for you with multiple angles. So that's my setup, and then the one I'm recording all this on is my Power Shot by Canon, and it's the A22 high def. So hope you guys like it. If you got any questions about some of the gear, if you wanted to know something else about what I'm using or how I like the fit or whatnot, by all means leave a comment, and have a good one, and we'll see you on the road. K4. Whoa, I'm going to damage my helmet. Okay, so we have the AGV. Okay, so first, kind of difficult to do this one-handed.